Developers Direct nézés. A Stream Decken most megint beszart, bazzánk. Sadness. Más előbb látja a Doom gameplayt. Annyi baj legyen. De ez legalább szebben néz ki. Ja. Az a 2K, miről beszél. Mi a szabály, mikor iszunk? Hát nem tudom. De ez nem lesz ilyen hosszú dolog, nem? Ez ilyen rövidke. Mondjad, Dangy. ...40 pár perc? Ja. Extra alsógatját tettél magad mellé? Még nem. De nagyon várom a Doomot. Title of my sex tape. Szép. Másfél perec. Egy óra alatt be is lehet baszni, ha az lesz a szabály, ha csöcsök iszunk, ha gacsa iszunk, és ha skifi iszunk. Szerintem újvi 10 perc alatt megcsinálna. Nem tudom, mi ez az 1 órás álomhatár. Lehet hallani egyébként minden chat? Jók vagyunk? Persze, oké, király. Újvi 5 perc alatt bebaszik? Képes rá. Képes az öreg. Kiég a szemed? Nekem is. Nekem is, nyugi. Nem csak neked. De már a Doom az ott van. Mit mutattak be még azon kívül? 40 percen keresztül. Sandfall, Heat, Composition. All games you are about to see are in development and do not represent final products. Early access. Kekvé. All games are available on day one with Game Pass. Oof. Oof. All games support Xbox Play Anywhere and Xbox Cloud Gaming. Buy once, play on Xbox console, then Xbox Play up and PC with cross. Az igen. Annyika. Expedíció 33? Az is jó. ...18. Ott is van! Új, de jó! Straight from the devs. Hozzánk. Ő neki az a munkája, hogy zsonglőrködik? Uff. Három stúdiót revealeltek, és lesz egy nagyon titkos. Aha. Szerintem is Hero lesz, és az Unreal Engine 5-tel. Ez most a fejfájásomnak nem segít egyébként ez az effekt. Aj, Team Ninja! Oh.
Konnichiwa, 超えてくも
Konnichiwa!
忍者の安田文彦です。
Arigatou gozaimasu. Konnichiwa.
大切にしてきたアクションシリーズの新情報を発表できる機会をいただけてとても嬉しく思います。早速ですがこちらをご覧ください。
Nézzük, mit mutattok?
Several years ago, the Dark Dragon, youngest of the divine dragon gods, wreaked havoc across the world. The plot was ultimately thwarted through the efforts of a sole ninja. However, the Dark Dragon's husk remained, and from this husk fell an endless downpour of cursed rain. The abandoned Tokyo continues its struggle against chaos to this day.
Aha.
Infiltrated the facility. Commencing mission.
Aha. Ez melyik kategóriába sorolható egyébként? A skifihez, vagy a... Igen, ez ilyen super edgy játéknak tűnik egyébként. Mindegy, ígyunk. Jó, ígyunk. Igazatok van. Ez valamilyen... Ez ilyen nagyon cyberpunk Neo akar lenni. Aha. Vagy Ninja Gaiden. Vagy Gaiden, vagy a faszom tudja, hogy kell mondani. Tenni kell bele egy gárét is. Egy rókafarkas gárét. Csöcs volt, nem figyeltem pont. Ryu Hayabusa? Mi ez? Új vinak a motorja? Az Ninja Gaiden.
So you've come, Raven.
Fuck off, Hayabusa. I will execute my mission.
Az igen!
世界中の町人の皆さん、10年以上大変お待たせしました。最強の忍者となり、容赦なく襲い来る敵に挑むハイスピードアクション、忍者ガイデンのナンバリング最新作として、忍者ガイデン4を発表させていただきました。
És ez lenne a kérdőjel projekt. A Ninja Gaiden egyébként amúgy elég nagy címnek minősül. Csikáró, egyébként nagyon szépen köszönöm az 5. hónapodat, bocsi, közben csak pont váltottunk színt meg mindent is. Kösz szépen! Valójában Ninja Gaiden egyébként egy viszonylag nagy cím.
Ninja Gaiden 4 というタイトルを10年以上の時を
Ninja Gaiden 4 タイトル! Abba kell hagynom, nem szabad.
より多くの方に新鮮な気持ちでプレイしていただけるよう新たな世界を新主人公であるもう一人の町人ヤクモで冒険するという形で制作することにしました。
De azért fel kell olvasnom az angol szöveget japán-angolul. The trailer you just saw also features Ryu Hayabusa who will play a pivotal role in the story.
なぜヤクモと戦うことになったのか。
Ryu's motives will be revealed as the story unfolds. Lead him to clash with Yakumo.
物語は黒龍がもたらした正気の雨によって荒廃した首都東京が舞台となっています。
ダークドラグヌ
この雨は黒龍がまだ生きている雨が止まない限り東京に安寧は訪れません。今作の新主人公でありハヤブサと対をなすカラス一門に所属するヤクモが首都東京で黒龍を倒しこの世界を
ダークドラゴヌ
これまで忍者ガイデンシリーズで描かれたダークでハードな世界が
Ez az, de hol vannak a csöcsök?
さらに危機を感じさせる要素として呪いやより混沌とした景観のデザインを取り入れています。ステージプレイ中に街が呪いの影響をビルは崩れ、
hogy lehessen szopkodni?
ピンチに陥れることでしょう。
A Ninja Gaiden sose a csöcsökről szólt. De 2025 van itt, most már legalább kell valami szexuális dolognak lennie, különben gatya a játék, nincsenek eladások.
前作より立体的に自由度の増した
Ryu bisex, szívesen.
リングやシリーズおなじみの体術など 忍者アクションを駆使して乗り越えていくことになります。レールアクション、スイングアクションなどのダイナミックで爽快なシチュエーションを多く追加しました。
アクション
これら以外にもさまざまなシチュエーションやチャレンジ、隠されたアイテムなどを用意しており、ステージが進むごとに上がっていくテンションにも驚いていただけると思います。
Drámai zene. Régi elvileg kurva nehéz volt? Én nem sose játszottam velük. De egyébként igen, én is azt hallottam, hogy kurva nehéz volt. Amúgy egy élmény lehet veled animét nézni japán dabbal? Én mindig azzal szoktam pedig. Angol felirattal. Game Pass-ban benne van? Á, de bazzeg annyira régiek már azok. Azok már annyira nem jó. És magadnak is tolod ezeket? Persze. Az mennyire baj, hogy jobban értem, ahogy mondanak, mint az angol feliratot. Relatív. De nem gáz. De az menő.
現時点では公開していませんが、新たなキャラクターやシリーズファンの方に喜んでいただける人物も登場しますので、続報にご期待ください。
従来のシリーズからバトルスピードをさらに上げて、目にも止まらぬスピードで敵との攻防を繰り広げることができます。
Speedo. Ez egyébként meg amúgy ez a csávó, ez a rizsi volt amúgy, az a japán rizsi volt.
さらにヤクモが使える新要素、結節忍術、ヌエの型を駆使したダイナミックな攻撃によって、これまでから大きく進化した一対他の戦闘を可能にしました。ヌエの型ではこれまでの忍者外伝にはない広範囲かつ一撃必殺の攻撃となっており、多勢に無勢の状態が長く続く戦況を一気に覆すことができます。もちろん1対1の戦闘における比率も健在です。プレイヤー同様、敵もガードや回避をしてくるため、緊張感のあるフェアな戦闘を味わうことができます。敵の動きをしっかりと捉えながら、一瞬の隙を逃さずに攻撃を仕掛けていくことが重要です。ヌエの方によって忍者外伝のアクションの味わいにさらなる進化を感じられるかと思います。
特にアクションに関しては手触り、バランス調整など細部にわたり日々議論させていただき、会社の垣根を越えた密なやり取りをさせていただいています。本作の主人公であるヤクモは竜とは一味違うアクションを有していますが、その中でもしっかりと忍者外伝らしさを感じていただけると思います。Az a baj, hogy hallom benne az angolt, amikor mondják egyébként a japánok, és mindenki broken English-ül beszél. という点がヤクモの大きな特徴ですが、それらが持つ多彩な性能のアクションを用いて敵や状況ごとに使い分ける攻略の深みや滅却、絶技などを絡めた抑揚あるスピーディーな攻防などはもちろんヤクモでも健在です。
ヤクモと竜ハヤブサは
Igen, így könnyű lesz kitölteni a 40 percet.
性的な遊び心地になっていますので、さまざまな戦闘バリエーションを楽しむことができるようになっています。
Úrisi, én az a baj ott, tehát hogyha nekem lenne egy indiai munkatársam, biztos, hogy 0-24 röhögnék rajta, geci, de nem azért, mert biztos, hogy okos, meg okosabb is nálam, de basszeg az az akcentus, hogyha megszólalnak angolul, geci, az nekem az végem van.
忍者外伝シリーズに色濃く残っている歯ごたえやグレードの高いアクション体験の継承、さらに我々プラチナゲームズの特徴であるスピーディーなアクションやダイナミックな演出も取り入れ、進化した正当続編を作り上げるべく総力を挙げて開発を進めております。
容赦ない敵とのいかなる攻防にもフェアに戦える手触りをヤクモでも目指しています。皆様に進化した忍者外伝を触っていただける日を楽しみにしています。
Nincs Gaiden egyébként, csak hogy tudjuk. Az indiai Christmas music playlist van olyan. Én vietnámiakkal dolgoztam annól Németországban, na őket németül hallani sem volt gyenge. Ezt tudom képzelni, hogy milyen lehet.
2025年秋に本作を皆様にお届けできるのを楽しみにしています。続報にもぜひご期待ください。
Game Pass PC is lesz, király. Ez nagyon jó, 10/10.
さて、本日お伝えしたい発表はそれだけではありません。こちらをご覧ください。
Na, még van bejelenteni valójuk? Wow, az amúgy menő. Hát ez ugyanúgy nincs a Gaiden, mert ez így Gaiden. Emlékezted még a Elder Scrolls 6 trailerre? Ho, ho, ho! Volt Elder Scrolls 6 trailer egyébként, aki lemaradt volna róla. Azt hiszem a 2 vagy 3 évvel ezelőtti Video Game Awards-on. TRG! De elegáns vagyok? Köszi szépen. Itt van még az izém is, a kopasz fejem is. A Hitman cosplayhez. Nem szabad. Tudom, hogy mire gondolsz. Deathman is, na jó, mindegy is. 18-ban volt? Azt a kurva. Annyira régen? Basszeg, az nagyon komoly. Ott az komoly gári volt amúgy, láttátok? Na, az mondjuk bekaphatná lőcs. Na volt, csöcs lehet inni, bassz meg tényleg. Van neked alkoholom itthon? Ja, megnézem. Nem biztos.
This gave us a chance to explore Southern Gothic themes with a dark fantasy twist. So while our protagonist Hazel is at the forefront of our story, it's the macabre elements and larger-than-life creatures that will leave a mark on her journey and growth.
It is really picking up out there. Did you pack everything?
Mama, this ain't my first hurricane. I know what to do.
As long as you didn't forget.
Ja, ezt tudom melyik. Ja, ez nekem ez ilyen meh.
5 minutes. Let's go.
We wouldn't be rushed if you didn't.
Don't mumble. Speak on it.
I said we wouldn't be rushed if
Good
you
exit.
waste all that time at the shelter.
Now, you want to bring this up right now.
I'm just saying.
Hazel, please.
We might need some help. I might need some help. While you're out helping everybody else.
Hazel!
Hazel may start her journey as a typical 19-year-old, but disastrous
Kári amúgy nem rossz
into a
te.
darkly magical world where she'll learn who she really is.
Nem tudom, késik a hang.
Tap into weaving.
Chat?
An ancient magical power that redefines her trajectory in life.
The land itself chooses Hazel as a weaver. Someone who can see beyond the surface and tap into a deeper reality, the grand tapestry. Weavers can see the fabric binding our worlds, connecting people, nature, and echoes of the past.
Keep those hands to yourself.
Hazel can perceive both the mystical strands and stigmas in the world. Through her newfound power, she reweaves these stigmas and mends the afflicted creatures she encounters.
As Hazel discovers her power, the world gradually shifts into the surreal, revealing that creatures from the old folktales actually exist.
You up here, my salvation.
Among them is good old Catfish.
My salvation! Biztos, hogy ez egy Jamaican. Azt Cat. Ez izé, Sanapál. Phoebe Burning.
Meeting Catfish marks the true beginning of Hazel's
Osta.
journey. All of Hazel's arsenal and powers are designed around textile crafting and traditional spinning wheels. Her weapons include a spindle, 2 weaving hooks, and a distaff. Her magic abilities manifest with supernatural lace-like patterns, blending the traditional craft with mystical elements. Hazel engages with the world through a variety of movement abilities. Those abilities also help Hazel progress on a journey.
As her journey unfolds, Hazel will master new weaving abilities, using them to traverse the world, conjure objects, and confront adversaries.
Ugye? Komolyba adom elő. Itt van az izém is, a kopasz fejem.
The manifestations of corruption Hazel encounters.
These haints trap Hazel in combat until she unravels them, destroying them in the process.
Each haint has its own unique moveset, strengths, and weaknesses that you'll need to learn and adapt to. For example, the slug burrows on the ground and unleashes devastating strikes from afar.
Mikor veszed fel? Majd itt mennél.
Closes the distance with chilling speed. Hazel can counter these threats.
Most egyelőre ezt a Developers Direct-et megnézzük.
Powerful combos, jump attacks, and charge attacks. But close combat is risky.
Úgy ez fannak tűnik meg minden, de nem tudom, én már nem tudom elképzelni magamat ilyenekkel gémelni. Most hirtelen. 50 méter pillangó.
Push, pull, and weave are some of the spells at your disposal that give you a tactical advantage during a fight. Timing is everything. Pull distant enemies close to start melee combos, push them back to interrupt and stun their attack. Then press the advantage with follow-up strikes. Spells interact uniquely with each enemy type, creating dynamic combat scenarios, especially when facing multiple types of opponents at the same time.
Inkább 200 mellnél.
Enemies can be
rádurantok, mert erre szétfeszül az ing.
and setting them free of their corruption, which has the added benefit of providing L boosts and reducing ability cooldowns. If you play your combos right, you can enhance Hazel's combat readiness and keep on chaining her
Hozom a videókamerát.
As Hazel progresses in the game, she unlocks new moves and improved abilities, and you'll have to decide which areas to prioritize. The upgrades will change how you approach combat, like enhancing area of effect attacks, or refining push and pull skills to improve precision and make them feel more rewarding. The combat system is
tetszik egyébként, hogy a movementek olyanok, mintha nem lenne FPS, és egyszerre végtelen FPS is lenne. Akkor az ing nem mostani, hogyha jól gondolod? Nekem cicim van. Nekem nagyon jó cicim van.
Each ruled by a mythical creature with their own Southern Gothic history. You'll gradually uncover the backstories of these beings, once human or animal, who were transformed by tragedy, their secrets waiting to be discovered. As a weaver, Hazel heals these creatures by collecting fragments of haunted memories. We call these echoes, which
elmened Devil May Cry-nak? Devil May Cry azért az menőbb. A felekemről nem is szóval, hát az meg igen, az meg a másik. Ez nem skiffy és csöcs se lesz benne, és nem is gacsa. Hát itt sajnos nem tudunk inni, abszolút, ja. Unlucky.
From the atmospheric environment to unique music themes composed for each one. While not all encounters lead to direct combat, Hazel will need to face difficult creatures in epic confrontation before she can heal them. Our boss encounters and gameplay sequences also reflects the uniqueness of each creature, with distinct mechanics that center around a specific thematic. These encounters feature multiple phases that ramp up in complexity. As the encounters progress, the musical theme builds up, cranking the tension alongside the fight. Whether it's Two-Toed Tom or hugging Molly, each of these larger-than-life creatures is inspired by Southern folklore and lead to climactic battles.
We got a long journey ahead.
South of Midnight unfolds as a hero's journey, and as Hazel, you'll travel.
A bajusz dobna még a szetten? Dobjak fel egy bajuszt? Az a bajban azok, hogy kikapcsolom a kamerát, megint crashel az OBS.
To flooded farmlands, to the Appalachian peaks. In our magical South, decaying buildings reclaimed by nature stand moments away from a hungry Rugal. And as Hazel delves deeper, reality bends ever more toward the fantastical.
The history, landscape, and folklore of the American Deep South fill our world, and our team has infused the game with thoughtful details and environmental storytelling, like our bottle trees and painted porches, which are said to ward off evil spirits.
That was.
The weight of the past emerges as central themes, which you can see through old abandoned buildings and businesses struggling to survive. As you explore, you'll meet locals who stayed behind even in the face of a hurricane.
So I'm the last person left here. All those damn haints. This part of the river's filthy with them.
Artistically, we're staying true to our moody compulsion signature style. But this time, we're using a handcrafted approach inspired by stop-motion
Most ez milyen
animation,
játék?
which allows our team
Story
to bring
game.
a distinct personality and tone into
Action
every
adventure
Gothic
story game.
character. Because this folklore is open to visual interpretation, we embrace the freedom to reimagine these creatures and their stories, to adapt how they look, and to craft our own version of a fantastical Deep South.
Amúgy nem minden stop motion,
At Compulsion
ahogy
Games,
nézem.
we love to craft around central themes. We are lucky to have talent across all our disciplines that collaborate to give South of Midnight such a unique personality. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into South of Midnight. We're thrilled to announce that the game will launch on April 8th, and pre-orders are now available on Xbox and Steam.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, persze! Piszkos! Nyilván az utoljára hagyjuk, faszom, homokeső. Az nem a Robin biciklije volt?
Bonjour everyone.
Bonjour!
We are Software Interactive. Welcome to our
Software Interactive.
We are a small studio based in Montpellier, France, working on our first game, Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Expedition 33. Turn-based combat.
19th century Belle France.
Sacre bleu, medieval France.
Our grand adventure
Oh,
in
gets
game
them.
development
No, I'm
actually
someone.
started as a solo passion project. I wanted to create something like the JRPGs with turn-based combat I grew up with and loved, but that fully leveraged the latest tech, refreshed the genre with new features, and took place in a compelling world. I knew I needed help to realize my dream.
Igen, hitelér voltam.
A programmer, and you would get it.
Guillaume and I started
Szerintem
trading
ruhát
ideas
rossz, bazeg, ez Robin
and that
biciklije.
quickly turned into trading files
Köszárom.
back and forth. Soon, I was creating the first prototypes of the reactive turn-based system, combining real-time offense and defense element and a cinematic battle camera system. Things really clicked when we tested the first version of those features. We felt we had something both challenging and fun.
As Tom and I went back and forth and iterated on game elements, a vision started to come together, and I shared it with an old friend from university.
Guillaume and I are both passionate gamers, and when he described the project,
Nagyon nehéz megállnom egyébként.
and joined the team without hesitation. Because I believe that in video games, success always starts with a
Hülye főni, nem láttad a
creative
izémet? Nem láttad a kopasz
And
sapkámat?
we had that,
Itt van a kopasz
defined by
úszó
three
sapkám.
core
Ott van a
elements.
hátán a izé is.
A story with great emotional depth. Gameplay that innovates on the
Amúgy ezt gyakorlatilag, ha jól értelmezem, ez egy francia Final Fantasy, így van?
completely original, beautiful.
Completely original. Baguette. Bocs.
A group of friends with a shared vision and the drive to make something great.
This too is your legacy.
Azért ott volt a izé rajta, a kis francia
For you,
sapi.
every great RPG is a compelling story. And Guillaume and I spent 4 years intensively developing and refining ours. And that started with the hook. 67 years ago, a massive slumbering paintress and a monolith appeared with no warning. Once a year, the paintress wakes and paints a number on her monolith. Everyone who has passed that age is erased. Every year, that number ticks down, and everyone dies younger and younger. Expeditions depart to kill the paintress, determined to fight until their final breath, but none have ever returned. Our story follows.
Mindenki, aki a felírt számnál fiatalabb, vagy öregebb, az meghal.
Expeditioners, we honor your dedication.
És meg akarják ölni a festőt, aki ráfesti a számot.
That we didn't want to focus on good versus evil. What's interesting to us are people who.
Hát úgy mindenkit megatja, az a baj, nekem is.
And conflicts arise.
Faszopó festő!
I'm sorry about earlier.
We wanted our story to feel dark and mature, with adult characters who feel like real people with real experiences.
I'm always missing something that everyone else just gets.
The heart of the story is about overcoming an existential threat while struggling with loss and grief. And it's rooted in the characters' relationships, both to each other and to themselves.
What are we gonna do, huh? Tell me. What are we gonna do?
In a world like this, how does one stay hopeful or make peace with their fate? What duty do we owe to each other or to ourselves? These questions are deeply personal to me, and they permeate the story behind
a balos Gári az
Yeah, fight with you. Tomorrow comes Expedition 33.
The characters all have their own motivations and perspectives. Gustave and Lune are deeply invested in the expedition, even if they fight all the time. To them, the mission is tied not only to their family, it's central to their identity and purpose.
Mon ami, le vidéo est magnifique!
Every contingency. You know that.
Contrast that with Ciel, whose darkest days have already happened.
What are the stars whispering to you? Actually, I'm the one whispering to them. It's something my dad and I used to do.
And Maëlle, who cares more about really living her life, not just living longer.
Gustav, are you real?
It's not all dark, though. Along the way, they meet various colorful and recruit Monoko, who is a friendly but kinda bloodthirsty philosopher and a fully playable character. He has a really cool battle mechanic where he can turn into the enemies he defeats.
What are you doing?
Just need the foot. Aha!
He's very, very old and has seen many expeditions come and go. He is a Jest Troll, which are a group of playful beings who view battle as a form of meditation. They're fun and sort of ridiculous. You'll meet Monoko and many other Jest Trolls across the game.
Bonjour.
And of course,
Bonjour.
who is one of the oldest and lore-wise the most powerful creatures in the verse.
Eske is that powerful?
He will be your mount and help you travel to secret corners of the world. And if you bring him back to special stones, you can unlock abilities for him to access new areas of the world and find exciting secrets.
I'm strong, but I'm not that strong.
Everyone has their own reason.
Ez a francia Big Hero 6.
And each of them has their own story arc and resolution that we think players will really connect with.
Bonjour.
In addition to a strong narrative, we had a clear vision for our own take on the genre's core gameplay. Our reactive turn-based system takes the traditional turn-based battle mechanic we love and adds real-time reaction.
Jaj, de jó.
Which gives combat greater intensity.
Ja, ez aztán intenzív lesz így a combat.
Ja. Negate all damage by dodging or firing at the right time.
A turn-based combat és mellé a quick time eventek. Ebben laktam, lényegében.
In initial playtest, turn-based players often found the real-time elements too hard. Some of us are still traumatized by enemies from back then. We've done a lot of rebalancing since, and with a lot of iteration, we ultimately came up with a formula that we're proud of. Players who are good at real-time can take more risks, and others can counterbalance with items and strategies. A big part of that formula lies in the many ways you can customize your character. We spend a lot of time designing each character's unique mechanics and their custom skill trees. Our philosophy is making every type of playstyle viable so that everyone can have fun with how they play the game. Each character has a unique mechanic. Mail switches between stances which can alter
CuCu, kösz szépen Jurónak a giftsabot. Szia Borke, gyere! Épp új anyjával vagyok Landin. Igen, csak bemászott az asztal alá. Hallod, sok van még ebből amúgy? De most a következő már viszont ténylegesen érdekelne.
The characters can also equip hundreds of passive effects, which in our game are called Lumina. Every character has more than 20 unique skills in a skill tree and hundreds of passive effects. They can gain through Lumina and weapons. So there are a ton of builds and playstyle to explore. Needless to say, we can't wait to see how you choose to play and what kinds of build you'll design that we probably never even imagined.
Our story is set in the French fantasy world, and I was really excited to design something unique. Every level has its own color and texture identity. For example, the Gestural Village is an early area in the game where players can enjoy a fun break. We wanted something that feels chaotic, grungy, and toy-like. It's basically a bazaar. Everything's disorganized, chaos everywhere, huts are unsafe, built without much thought. It's a place where anyone could fight you at any point, which is pretty much what the Jestrals are like. The Jestral village is hidden inside the sanctuary. The ideas here were far
de most akkor várjatok már, akkor a secret, amit revealeltek, az a izé volt?
Forgotten wooden toys in the box, with two main
a Ninja
colors,
Gaiden?
red and white. I wanted to make it feel cozy, hidden from danger, with traps and labyrinths in case enemies.
Hát én is remélem, hogy nem amúgy, pedig nagyon úgy tűnik.
Same process with the characters. Minoko came in a single concept. I thought of a monkey-like body, white fur with a black and red flat mask.
Ladies, could I?
Ow!
Definitely a Jestral.
For Escape, we needed a cuddly companion to take us around the world. I thought instantly of a giant inflatable balloon and old Victorian pillows with many intricate motifs. We start with the core themes and ideas, and the visuals grow organically from there.
From the very start of the project, there was one thing that we absolutely wanted to bring back from older JRPGs. A feature we really loved.
Vitatásban új szintet célozgatják?
Completely 3D and navigable world map. Yes.
Gubi.
And it was a real challenge
to create
both artistically and technically.
Both artistically and technically. Sacré bleu! Oh, nézd, hogy repülnek is takatik! Az meg, nem. Ki fognak baszni?
Entire hidden levels. If you want to fight the toughest bosses of the game, you will have to explore. Good luck.
We've poured our hearts and souls into this game for the past 4 years. That's why we're delighted to announce that Expedition 33 launches on April 24th on Xbox Series X and S and is available day one with Xbox Game Pass. You can already wish the game and follow us for more info.
Super!
We are super excited to invite you into the world of Expedition 33. We are a small, passionate team. It's our debut game, and we can't wait for you to discover our story, our world, and our take on the turn-based genre. On behalf of everyone at Sunfall, thank you for joining us. Tomorrow comes.
Demain viendra.
Tomorrow comes.
Demain viendra.
Demain viendra.
Tomorrow comes.
I come as well, ami azt illeti. Eljön PC-re is. Let's go! Jó!
Hello, and welcome to Dallas, Texas, home of id Software, where more than 30 years ago, a small team of game developers helped define and set a course for first-person shooters. A lot has changed since then, but our team is as passionate as ever. And the most important values at the core of our games, innovation, craftsmanship, and performance, remain a priority for us to this day.
And as you're about to see, those values are infused in every aspect of this latest installment in the legendary Doom franchise.
No!
It is an honor to work on this game, to carry on id's tradition of creating all-out, groundbreaking levels of fun.
So now, we're excited to share with you a look at our most ambitious game yet. This is Doom: The Dark Ages.
That was so stupid I mouthed the words.
Oh, back a fight!
In Doom: The Dark Ages, you will feel like the superweapon in the center of a medieval war against hell. Set in a cinematic sci-fi fantasy world full of locations to explore, powerful weapons to unlock, and enemies to conquer. This is a prequel to Doom 2016. And that's given us the opportunity to
Doom 2016 előtt fog játszani, vagy játszódni.
So if you're new to the franchise, then Doom: The Dark Ages will be the perfect entry point into the series. And if you're a longtime fan, then you'll be proud to see, in a lot of ways, The feel of the game is really a return to form. So let's break it down, starting with the combat.
Sci-fi fantasy-ben ismerte iszú?
In Doom Eternal, you felt like a fighter jet. In Doom the Dark Ages, you'll be an iron tank. Heavy, strong, but still fast. A grounded combat system with an emphasis on power over the acrobatics of Doom Eternal.
Perry, nagyon jó!
A balance between enemy projectiles and player movement speed that makes strafing to aim viable again, just like in the classic Doom games. But it's not all about nostalgia. Innovation is the goal, always. And so for Doom the Dark Ages, it's an all-new world with new tools and new mechanics to master. Let me introduce you to the Shield Saw. Block. Throw. Parry. Deflect. All from one input. It's contextual. Tons of depth on a single button press. You know, we want every Doom game to stand on its own.
So good.
Experience. So in 2016, we asked you to run and gun. In Doom Eternal, it was jump and shoot. And in Doom the Dark Ages, you're gonna stand and fight.
Oh, let's go! Let's go! Úristen, de fogok ezzel örülni.
Baddest demons we've ever created it in. But that's not all. Because if you're gonna stand and fight, then you gotta have something to follow up that opening parry with. How about an iron flail?
A buzagány.
Or maybe an electrified gauntlet.
Jó, azt mondjuk láttuk.
Or even a doom spiked mace. That's right, we have 3 melee options that are part of a melee system.
3 különböző melee fegyver.
Complete with combos and upgrades, and it's totally awesome. And you can finish off the demons now with an all-new, unsynced, completely in the player's control glory kill system. From any angle, in and out, as you see fit. And
Az a régi plazma rifle volt.
You'll feel unstoppable, smashing your way through the horde with total freedom. And that seems like a ton, but that's just 2 inputs. We got one more really important button that we haven't talked about yet.
Mégpedig.
The trigger.
Hangosabbra!
That's right, we've saved the best for last. Doom has and always will be all about the guns. And Dark Ages has some of the most ridiculously powerful weapons that we've ever created. Mean. Ancient. Brutal torture.
Azt de jól nézett ki az a soti!
Butcher. Impale. And shred the minions of hell with.
Gyerekek, én végeztem.
Only in Doom. That's the mission statement for the design of these never before seen, insanely fun to use tools of Mega that only the Slayer has the power to wield. So let's take a look at some extended gameplay footage and see how these medieval mechanics synergize with the enemies and the environments to form the new combat loop for Doom the Dark Ages.
Az komoly réka. Nagyon jó lesz a zene is amúgy. Jó, a gyerek az nagyon lassan játszik. Majd megmutatom, hogy kell Doomot játszani. Wow. Jesus. Lassabb lesz, mint az Eternal egyébként, ahogy elmondta a Pali.
And under the hood, for the first time in an id game, we've made our combat more approachable and flexible than ever before, with a new difficulty system and sliders that will allow players to tune the speed and challenge of the game to whatever fits them best.
Oh,
you can slow things down or speed them up. It's a Doom for all Slayers.
Nem, ez buzis. Ez nem kell. Legyen nehéz.
Finally have for you. You've been waiting for 2 games now to get in and pilot your very own 30-story Atlan, which is a mech. It's the size of a building. It's powerful, and you can beat giant Titan-sized demons to death with your golden fists. And if that wasn't enough, we also have for you your very own fire-breathing, Gatling gun-toting cybernetic.
Ja, hogy azon van egy izé!
Neither of these are one-and-done features either. They have a full suite of abilities and even mini-bosses. The spectacle is epic. The power fantasy is unlike anything we've made it in, and the combat systems behind these features are deep and tons of fun. And as cool as all that is, we know that fans of single-player action games expect more than just great combat to pull them through the experience. So we're excited to share with you not just the gunplay, but the world of Doom: The Dark Ages. Your hero's journey will take you to the far reaches of the Doom universe. Mysterious worlds from the Slayer's past, dark forests, dungeons, ancient hellscapes, battlefields, and worlds beyond. And through exploration, you'll be unlocking new abilities and godlike powers every step of the way. Now armed with your trusty shield saw, you're gonna cut, leap, and smash your way through environments full of secrets and treasures.
Okay.
There's always something new waiting to be discovered or destroyed. Now let's take a closer look at just one of the many missions you'll experience in Doom: The Dark Ages. In this level, you will meet the enemy at the gates and save a city from certain destruction. Explore the medieval battlefield outside the castle walls, seeking out targets and enemy formations along the way to engage with as you see fit, with any gun you choose. Explore what is the largest play space ever in a Doom game.
2016-os Doom az melyik volt? A reboot. De...
in search of vital resources.
Relatív reboot, ja.
You control the pace.
De volt a 2006, volt az Eternal, meg volt az Eternalnak a DLC-i.
Who you fight and the objectives you
az egy
pursue.
sztori.
It's a Doom sandbox full of war and riches. Once you've broken the enemy assault, head back to the main gates because the battle isn't over yet.
Cyber Demon. Nem, ez egy titán. Yes.
And the soundtrack to your epic adventures will be composed by the award-winning team at Finishing Move, providing you with a metal soundscape that's loaded with guitars, medieval vibes, and pure adrenaline. You'll feel like you're expanding the legend of the Slayer with every mission you complete. And speaking of that legend, the story of Doom: The Dark Ages, like everything else in the game, is big. It's a summer blockbuster event with everything on the line, and you are the star of the show. Your power is coveted by your enemies and withheld from your allies. With the Slayer imprisoned at the start of our story, the balance of power between good and evil is shifting, and time is running out. It's a new story and the perfect entry point for new players. It's easier to access now as we've taken the narrative out of the codex and into
Már nem még Gordon csinálja zenét, nem.
featuring new characters, old allies, and powerful new villains. And for returning players, it leads directly into the Doom 2016 Slayer's Testaments. It's an action story worthy of the Slayer's legend.
We've got 10 years of making modern Doom games together, and we've done better with every game we've made.
The hope with all this, the goal, is to give players an experience that's as fun to play as it was to make, and make something that's good enough to become the best game id has ever made.
But that
Mindenki
is
sétál
for you
mögöttük?
to decide. When Doom: The Dark Ages releases,
Ájus! Let's go! Pre-order? De jó, oké. De van-e Collector's Edition? Az a kérdés.
I cannot move.
Ennyi?
You will feel like the super weapon in the
Azt hittem, hogy Halo is lesz, mert akkor duplán elélveztem volna.
All of Hazel's powers are designed around textile crafting and spinning wheels. The combat system is built around chaining attacks and unraveling enemies.
Our reactive turn-based system has real-time reaction, which gives combat greater
Még mondjuk amúgy lehet. Ki tudja. De mondta kisgatyában ülsz az ing alatt? Igazából mindegy, mert tiszta geci az egész. Nagyon erős lett volna a Hero és Doom egyszerre? Lehet amúgy. Akkor köszönjük, hogy megnéztétek. Hát valószínűleg amúgy jó volt ez. Fasza volt, a Doom az kibaszott király lesz. A Ninja Gaiden is menő, amúgy a South of Midnight is menő, de az nem nekem való. Expedition meg az meg aztán nagyon nem nekem való. De YouTube-on like és csengőcske!